What is going on, everyone? We have a pretty interesting setup here today. You know what? Let me switch my mic on the other side so you guys can see my pretty face, right? Um, so I'm gonna do. Obviously, it's leg day. You guys see that on the title of the video already. But I seen this cool variation, and I'm sure maybe some of you have already seen this. For me, it was the first time, and it was actually Andrew Jacked. I seen a video he put on Instagram, I think it was, of him doing this exercise where he used the Smith machine bar to kind of keep himself pinned in position. His quad, the bar is about right here, pressed up against the bar because obviously it can't move, and I have a 45 on each side of it to really make sure it doesn't move. And then you grab some dumbbells and you do some stiff-legged deadlifts. And I seen that and I thought, that's really cool, honestly. So I want to give it a try today, and I know it'll work good. The only thing I'm worried about is, I've said it before, sometimes when I'm doing this, my lower back gets so pumped up that it kind of takes away from the effect. So what I'm thinking is maybe I'll do as many sets as I feel like it's still working, but it's not starting to affect my lower back too much, if that makes sense. So if it's only a couple sets, I might just do a couple sets here, and then maybe I'll move on to leg curls and finish hamstrings with a couple more sets of leg curls or something. If I can, I will do all the sets here. So, I'll just kind of have to see how this plays out, like always. I've warmed up, and I will say it's what I'm gonna try to do is stay in the stretch position. So, I'm gonna go super deep, and then this might be fully locked out for me. I might not come all the way up. I want to keep that constant tension and stretch on the hamstrings. Really, just try to thrash them. So yeah, that's the plan. I have the 100-pound dumbbells. Like I said, I did a couple sets each, not sets, but you guys like feel out sets, not to failure or nothing. I grabbed the 30s, then the 60s. It all felt light, and it's not really the amount of weight that's going to be a factor here. It's the instability. I'm not going to be doing this on a fixed bar like I normally do with the Smith machine. The dumbbells can kind of freely move more, so that always makes it harder. Just like for most people, a dumbbell bench press is going to be harder than a barbell. The instability just makes it that way. So I had the 100-pound dumbbells. It might humble me. It might be too much because I don't do stiff-legged deadlifts often. I stick to leg curl machines for my hamstrings for the most part, because of my lower back being that kind of that limiting factor. So we'll see. Basically, let's just do a set and go from there. Wow. Okay. Initial thoughts. That was fucking good. Holy crap. In terms of what I felt that way more in my hamstrings than say when I do it with the bar. And obviously, I probably don't have to say this. I think it's because my quads are pressed up against here and they're fixed. I can't let my legs bend that much, um, so I can keep that my legs fairly straight and keep that tension on my hamstrings. Wow, that was fucking have something very eye opening. The instability actually wasn't as much of a factor as I was thinking. I kind of just pressed the dumbbells together and I kind of kept them stable for the most part. At least it made it a little easier. Yeah, that worked. You guys can't tell. I've done one set and I'm breathing hard. Okay, I actually might end up. Okay, after one set, I think I might do 3 sets here and then go do a set of leg curls to finish my hamstrings off. Just because I feel like 4 sets of this might. I mean, don't get me wrong, 3 sets already is going to be a lot because it's just a lot of. It's requiring a lot from my whole body, a lot more muscles, so she's going to fatigue you faster. So I don't want to overdo it here. So maybe 3 sets, go do a nice set of leg curls, give me 4 sets of hamstrings in, and then go from there. That's kind of what I'm thinking right now. So good fucking first set, dude. That was the more it's kind of settling in, the more I like it. I really liked that. Let's do another one and really see. All right. Hopefully you guys can see how I have these 5 pound plates here. And basically, let me move this out of the way so you guys see better. Hopefully. Basically, I'm kind of not midfoot, but maybe a little less than midfoot, keeping my toes up on these plates. Basically to where I'm standing straight up and my quads are touching the bar. So like I don't want to be back too far to where I have to lean forward. See that? Where I'm touching the bar, or where I'm so far up that I'm almost about to fall backwards. Basically just stand up straight, and that's where your toes should be on these plates. And that also keeps the emphasis, because a lot of times a tendency, and don't feel bad about this, a lot of people do it. I've done it, pretty much everyone. Um, a lot of times the tendency is to want to start to push through your toes. Um, when you're doing a hamstring or glute exercise, you want to feel that tension through your heels. Um, it's just you're just gonna get a better contraction, and you're gonna feel it more in those areas that you're trying to. You start pushing through your toes too much, and it can kind of take that away just a little bit. And you guys know, just a little bit taken away can make a big difference over time on not seeing the gains that you should. So that kind of keeps your toes up to where you're really on your heels, pushing through your heels, and you're feeling all that good stuff back here. So kind of why I do it. It makes it a little more natural and easier to feel through your heels. So if you try this and you feel like you need those plates under your toes like I do, definitely I would recommend it. It works for me. Not everybody might not need to, but for me, I need to, and it definitely helps. But let me get this 100 pound back over here, and we'll do the second set. second set down. I'll say, if I continue to do this in and out on my leg days, I think the hundreds might be a little too light. Honestly, maybe even a lot too light. I did 2 sets of 16 so far. If I really wanted to push it, get crazy, which I probably will do that on this last set, I probably could have got close to 20, maybe even right at 20. So, next time I do this, maybe I'll try the 120s instead of the 100s. But yeah, I like it a lot. Honestly, I could probably even go quite a bit more than the 120s, maybe, because I've done this on the bar with 345s on each side. What is that in weight? Like 285 or something for reps for like sets of 10. So this is only 200 pounds right here. So do the math. I could probably do the 130s, 140s in each hand. But a brand new exercise, the smart thing to do is to ease into it. Make sure you understand the mechanics first and get the form down before you really start, adding a lot of weight. So yeah, I'll just do one more set with the 100s here. And like I said, probably do a set of leg curls, at least one. Maybe a set and then a drop set. Really get the hamstrings firing, and then move on to quads. Okay. First initial assessment after 3 sets. I like it. I could feel my back starting. Again, just starting though, it wasn't real bad. To give me a little bit of problems there. So just like I said, I think 3 sets, good. Good 3 sets, I like it. So we'll move on. Like I said, I'll do a set of leg curls, probably with a drop set, really cap off the hamstrings. And then we'll move on to something else.
Okay, I think hamstrings are done. That was actually a really good way to finish them. That felt fucking, I won't say perfect. I don't think there's any such thing as perfect, but as close as you can get, probably. So, a really good way to end hamstrings. Whew. I'll say, man, I am sweating. But that's kind of, anytime you do an exercise that's kind of full body or just it uses a lot of other muscles other than what you're specifically targeting, your body's just going to be working that much harder. So yeah, most of the time you're going to sweat more, you're going to burn more calories doing exercises like that. So if you're in like a calorie deficit, you're trying to cut, a lot of full body exercises could help, could give you that much, just a little more of a boost in terms of what you're trying to accomplish by cutting, burning fat. The downside is a little more dangerous. Usually when you're cutting, you see a lot of bodybuilders doing a lot of machines, a lot of strict, fixed exercises. That's because it's safer. You're already in a deficit. You're already depleted, in their case, of water too, and carbs. So they just try to be as safe as they can. Because, I mean, again, when you're doing a full body exercise, you just have that many more chances of something getting a little off and getting hurt. Because, again, like I said, you're using that many more muscles, like a deadlift or a stiff legged deadlift like I just did. Things like that, a squat, pretty much a lot of your compound lifts. So, I mean, it's kind of a double-edged sword. On one hand, it's good. On the other hand, it could be a little more dangerous. But again, if you're cutting, your goal shouldn't be to lift crazy amounts of weight. So if you kind of stay in your lane, don't let your ego get in the way or take over, I should say, you should be okay. To do those full body exercises, just pick weight that's manageable, and maybe over time you might see a little better results because you're going to be burning more calories in that sense. So, anyways, I don't know how I got kind of ranting on that, but it happened. It gave me a nice little rest. Let's move on to some leg extensions now. First set, really good. 32 reps, if I counted correctly. But you guys know there's a good possibility that I didn't. I tend to do that, not count to the correct amount of reps. But I think that was 32. That's a lot of reps. Honestly, I need to figure something else out for quads. The problem is leg extensions just work so good for building your quads. They're simple and safe, really very straightforward. You know what I mean? Sit in the machine and you extend up.
Yes, there's a little different nuances you can do to hit your quads a little different, in each way. But again, for the most part, it's pretty straightforward. And I love leg extensions, but this machine just does not go heavy enough. So I try to speed up the rest periods, slow the reps down, and even still, yes, it makes it a little more kind of where I want it to be in terms of how hard it is and the amount of reps, the rep range it has me in. But it's still not quite heavy enough for what I want. Like leg curls on that uh, on the leg curl machine, this one here a little more in the range that I want. Usually on the first set, I'm around 15 to 18, 19 reps. Then by the third or fourth set, as fatigue starts to kick in, it brings me down around 10 or 12. Perfect. It's what I want here. Not necessarily 32 reps on the first set. That's, you know what I mean, a little too light. The thing is, like I said, they work so good. I don't want to throw them out. So I don't know. I've said this before. Still haven't really. Well, I've come up with ideas and I've tried them. The ones I just said earlier, slowing the reps down, only resting like a minute, and it's just still not quite enough. So until I figure something else out, this is the way to go for me. Again, I've been doing this, and I would say it's working. 32 reps might be the most I've ever done with this machine maxed out after I've done other exercises. So in that sense, it's showing progress. I'm getting stronger. My legs are definitely getting bigger. I can see it. So maybe I don't need to change it until I get to the point where I'm literally doing 40 plus reps. Then that's, I don't know. I'm kind of just thinking out loud at this point, but let's do another one here in a second. Okay, that was a little better. I'm not going to say anything. I'll rest like a minute again. Well, not again. I rested more than a minute last time, but rest like a minute and I'll do another one. Oh. Holy shit. Maybe I spoke too soon. What was that, only 17 or 18 reps? Shit. It's getting real now. All right, one more, guys. And a drop set to match the leg curls. One more and a drop set. All right, let's do this drop set. That'll be it here. Okay, we're done with leg extensions. That's it. Probably gonna try and go do hack squats now. And I say try because I'm getting a little lightheaded again. That only seems to creep up on leg day. I don't know why. I gotta try to figure that out. But yeah, let's go over to the hack squat machine and we'll give that a run. Okay, I'll be honest, I had to take my time. I pretty much had to warm up again doing this. Again, like when I just said at the end of that last set of leg extensions, I was getting a little lightheaded. So I really had to take my time. It's probably been 10 minutes since my last set. And it's starting to go away. So I think we're good to go. At least one set. We'll do the set and see. But, you know, I had this kind of already predetermined in my head. And if the dizziness didn't go away, I would have scrapped it, but it did. But what I had predetermined was going a little heavier today. I threw a 25 on each side. Normally, I'll only do 4 plates on each side at this point in the workout. I mean, I'm already 8 sets in with a couple drop sets. So if you want to count that as 10. So my legs, I'll be honest, they're a little jello-y, if I do say so. A little fucking jello-y, a little weak. Again, I'm already over halfway done, so that's kind of to be expected. But I still wanted to push the weight a little higher today to try to bring my reps down. With me being dizzy like this, I've noticed the more reps I'm doing on leg days, a lot of whole body movement. I think that's a part of why I get like this. So if I can bring the reps down, instead of doing a set of 15, 16, 17 with 4 plates on each side, if on this first set I can be around 12, 13 reps, somewhere in there. And then by the third and final set, maybe I'm around 9 or 10 only. That'll be better off for me, I think. Hopefully it'll keep me kind of from getting dizzy again. So yeah, it's going to be a little heavy. We'll try a set and see. This might not play out like I expect at all. This could be heavier than what I even think. Could be lighter. I don't know. So let's just do a set and go from there. I will have my feet. I'm gonna bring. I don't know if you can see my feet. Normally I'll be out here when I'm going for strength. But I think today, this is what I've been doing on the last 3 or 4 Wednesday leg sessions. Bring them in to where there's only a couple inches in between my feet. Make it a little tougher. So yeah, let's do a set and see what happens. Because I honestly have no clue what's going to happen here. Okay. Damn. I was having some knee pain there. Fuck. Things are kind of falling apart right now. Ah. I don't know what to do after that. I'll admit my knee pain was a little more serious than what it's been. I'll just say it like that. So, what to do? I don't know. Let me just rest a couple minutes and I'll see what I think is best here. All right. I'm going to try another one. I'm going to try again. This is always the goal. Unless I'm just really trying to be explosive for power. But I'm really going to try to control the reps here. Really pay attention to what my knee's feeling. I don't know why all of a sudden, because on leg extensions, my knee felt fine. So, and even through the warm-ups here, it felt fine. I didn't notice anything. I had to pause for a second to make sure, but I didn't notice anything. So I don't know why all of a sudden on that set it started bothering me. It just the best way to describe it. It feels very tender. Almost feels like a. I don't want to say really bad bruise because that makes it sound like it's not that bad. But when I'm down at the bottom and I have that flexion on my knee, I'm feeling it pretty good, and not a good way. So let's try another one. I was considering throwing my knee wraps on, but I don't like to use knee wraps on this if I don't have to. But again, if it gets even worse, I might try one more set and throw them on if I have to. Basically, I only did 10 last time. That's because on the last, if you go back and watch, on the last three, on the 3 reps, I had to slow it down a little bit. So my knee, because my knee was starting to feel it pretty good. So that may have took a rep or two away from me. So basically, my goal now is to just do 3 sets of 10. If I can do 10 again here, and if it feels good enough, try to do 10 again. I'll be happy. So let's just try it and see. How many reps was that? I don't know, really. I quit counting. If it was at least 10, I'm happy. Whew. Now, this isn't something that I really want to do with this exercise, but I did bring my feet up even a little higher. I mean, my toes were probably only an inch down from the top of the platform. Not really what I'm trying to go for here. I want to hit my quads pretty good because the higher your feet, the more you can use hamstrings and glutes and so on. But just to get some good sets, if it's what I got to do, it's what I got to do. So, and that did feel better on my knee. So I think we'll be good for one more set. I can't really make sense of this, but I did one more rep as each set progressed. So I did 10 on the first, 11 on the second, and 12 on this one. That's usually supposed to work opposite of that, but that kind of goes to show that my knee was definitely the limiting factor on that first set. What else can I say though? Fucking good leg day. Other than that one set here, that first one, everything else felt great. So let me catch my breath like always. We'll go pose. All right. Some of you may have noticed that I've watched my last 2-3 Wednesday leg sessions. I didn't do the method that I've been doing, which is where I'll do a set. Make sure I'm in the shot here. I'll do a set, say I'm doing leg curls, do a set till failure or within 1 or 2 reps, stay in the machine, put the weight down, rest 5 to 10 seconds, and then go again and get as many additional reps as I can for all counting as one set. Now, whether those additional reps I only get 2, 3, 4 reps over the course of 3 or 4 sets, that's an extra 12 to 15 total reps. And it's almost like you're doing another set with more intensity. That's the key, more intensity than just doing one more extra set. I didn't do that today because, let me say this, it's very effective. You guys know, I mean, I've done it like 3 Wednesdays in a row. So you know I like it. Very effective, but almost too effective. It's one of those things where if I continue to do this every week, every Wednesday for leg day, I feel like it's going to start to catch up to me, wear me out a little bit. And to a certain extent, I feel like it maybe has already. So it's one of those things that I might alternate it. I did legs like that, like I said, for like 3 weeks straight now, I think, every Wednesday. Maybe now for 2 3 weeks, I'll try that for back. And I might just alternate between body parts. So like I said, the next 3 weeks, maybe do back. Then after that, maybe chest. You know what I mean? Don't do it for first of all, don't do it every day. That'll really wear you out. Second of all, just don't do it for the same body part over and over and over again. Try to get a good mix, switching between body parts so they all kind of get that effect. And just see what happens. You know what I mean? I'm kind of just experimenting with it. So yeah, we'll just see what happens. But I'll say I was talking to my buddy a while ago. He's in here. And before I come over and started posing, we were talking, and he said he only has like 25 to 30 minutes to train. So he's basically going to do like one giant superset with a few rest periods between. That way he can get a good workout still, like I said, in only 30 minutes that he has. And that right there is the shit that I like to hear, dude. So many people will make excuses, say, I don't have time. Clearly, he barely has time. You know what I mean? A 30-minute workout, it's hard to get a lot done in 30 minutes without supersetting it. But he's in here doing it and just pretty much doing what he can, you know, better than nothing. That's the kind of stuff that, you know, no excuses. I don't want to hear any fucking excuses unless, again, the only 2 excuses I feel like are viable are you're deathly ill or actually physically hurt. And that's the only 2 excuses I want to hear. I couldn't tell you how many times I've come in here tired and bitching. I'll be honest, I've bitched before, not wanting to be here. But then once I get into those first couple of sets, I get pretty, I don't know if I'd say fired up, but I get in the zone and I get shit done, and I do what I got to do. So if you can just kind of get past that, usually it all works out for the best and you're glad you did, you know? But, all right, I've talked enough. Let's get straight into this leg posing. pretty much the rundown for legs. That's pretty much all you can do. Uh, I mean, I could get fancy and maybe do a few other things, but we're done. We're gonna call that good. Good leg day. Tomorrow, actually, this will be posted on the 4th of July tomorrow. So, you know, again, well, by the time this is posted, everybody will probably be out celebrating, barbecuing, I'd imagine, swimming, whatever it might be. But everybody, have a good 4th, and I will see you guys on the next one, which will be chest and triceps. So let's get out of here.